Well, I don't know what I am. Kitty, what am I? I what's my best side, Mr. DeMille? I am either a brilliant engineer or some sort of crackpot. I think you can decide. What I've done is I removed from here a large black CD case, which I was going to use to hold desk sets, and I realized it just was not functioning very well for that. So I got rid of it to my neighbors who liked it for the moment. So I rebuilt my stalagmite over here, which has, as soon as I can figure out how to turn on a light, that's helpless. Can I take this off the wall? No, because it's stuck. Oh, for God's sake. For God's sake. There. Now can you see? So that table there, the brown one, is on wheels and can go there or there or here or wherever. That's nice. It's on wheels. It has 5 drawers in it that contain right now pen and pencil sets in the boxes, or pen boxes with pens maybe, and pens and pencils. Behind that is a table which has a shelf that is empty right now. So that's a decision. What do I put on it? This is a relatively empty tray drawer thing that was for watch bands, and now they're for pens. What pens I'm going to put in them, I don't know. Are they pens in my collection? Are they pens that I want to sell? I don't know. This is you always have to move 3 things out of the way to get to what I want to show. This is a jewelry box that has little hooks for your necklaces, or in this case, for pen and pencil ladies' pens. It also has drawers full of stuff, pens to sort, but I don't know what's going to go in there yet. What I did here was this shelf and its legs used to be over there, and now they're over here. So I have this stalagmite moving up. The reason I did this was so that my desk here could be completely clear, so I can work completely devoid of clutter. What do you think? Here's where I work, right here. Now, my intention is to get rid of 3/4 of this stuff. So it is, in fact, open for me to draw and try pen repair and pen reviews and stuff. My drawing table over by the window, I want to use for drawing. What do you think? Drawing at the drawing table, does that make sense? So this may be my new place where I make my YouTube videos about pens. This little cabinet here used to hold the pens that I would bring to a pen show. I really don't need to bring that thing. I can bring the pens that I bring to a pen show in a smaller container. Though I like that one. That one works well. Because in addition to holding pens, it allows me to raise up my pen salesman's table to a height where you can easily try out a pen without stooping way over. There were only 3 or 4 people in the world that did this at pen shows. At one point, it was only Susan Worth and myself that did it. But now other people have caught on and are raising the table so that their customers don't screw it up screw their back up. You're back again. Looks like you found it.
Yes.
Okay, where was it? Where it's supposed to be. Okay.
I don't remember putting it back there.
Okay. Well, always start with that.
No.
Never start with that. Always never start with that. So, my 3/4 roommate just found his scarf that he was looking all over my house for. Like, good luck for that. Like, is it going to be in that glacier of debris, that debris field, or is it going to be in this log jam, or is it going to be in this basaltic lava flow, or will it be in the other? Let's just go to the other stalagmitifications, or will it be over here in this pile? Is it going to be in that pile? Is it going to be over there, or is it going to be over here in this pile, or this pile? Says Sergeant. You're Sergeant Carter. So anyway, let me go back to my little setup. God damn it! My house is a death trap. If any one of you plan on coming into my house to burgle it, you'll have to sign a waiver that you won't sue me if you break your neck. So anyway, here's where I will do my business. I may later, or I may right now, who knows, do a little talk about the Parker Fort. Let's just do it now. What the hell? So this is my iPhone holder upper. No, let's just wait for a time when I can do it after I clear the area here. I do have somewhere in Wallingford, Connecticut, is a package I bought on eBay that contains 4, I think, Parker 45s. And in general, Parker 45s are way too modern for my tastes, but I would sell them quite easily when I first started selling pens to the public 35 years ago, because they were able to take cartridges that were still being made by Parker. To me, it looks like I'm starting to talk about the Parker 45, doesn't it? Should I just continue? How many want me to continue? Raise their hand. How many want me to go back to bed? Raise your hand. It looks like you want me to talk about the Parker 45. Okay. Parker 45 it is. So let me see if I can clear this space out of the way just a little tiny bit so that I can move. Want to talk about Founto ink? No. Another Founto. Want to talk about a $100 bill and the horrible design of the $100 bill? No. So I hear our present occupant of the White House wants to have an airport named after him. Mr. President, you have to die first, is what I'd like to tell him, but that isn't true because Reagan got an airport named after him when he was still alive and kicking. So the precedent has been set for the president to get an airport if he wants, but he doesn't just ask for this to happen. You have to deserve it. What has he done for the Air Force or the airport? he rewrote history, so the airport is in part of the Revolutionary War. Maybe the airports will appreciate that little bit of revisionism. Okay, so here we go. This set I got from a pen collector friend of mine who recently died and bequeathed me his collection of maybe 50 pens or so. And I thanked him. He bequeathed them to me before he died. I mean, he had to do that, obviously, for me to get them, but he talked to me about the bequest, and I was very, very happy to be the steward of his collection. And I was very happy to see this in his collection, because the Parker 45, I may have one or two of them in my collection, but because this was a gift, now I've got essentially to keep these. So this is a flighter, and the Parker 51, or the Parker Company, made a number of flighters. There was a 51 flighter with a chrome stainless steel, whatever this is, Lustraloy stainless steel, cap and barrel, and they made a, what else did they make? A 61 flighter, and they made a 45 flighter. Now they may have made a 75 flighter for all I know, but I don't care. In my mind, a 75 is only in sterling checker grid pattern. That's the only way that they exist in my mind. So anyway, a 45, that's what these are, Parker 45. I don't know when they were made. You can find that up by an actual pen historian rather than me. 45s are interesting because their nibs can unscrew, and you could, for example, I suppose, if you wanted to do this, you could go to the pen store and you could say, I really love my Parker 45, but I'd love to have a broader nib when I write my angry letters to the mayor about his zoning restrictions on my adult bookstore. I want it to be right next to the church, which is where 96% of my customers come from. They leave the church and they get in their car and they drop their kids off, and then they say, honey, I need to go buy the milk, and they go over to the porn shop, to my porn shop, and they get the porn they want, and then they go back home. Oh, and then they stop at I also sell milk at my porn shop. So this is what they would be saying with their broad nibbed pen to the mayor. Please allow me to put my porn shop my adult bookstore next to the church so that they can more easily access my selection. Thank you. Blah, 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 blah. But see, if I wrote that note with this pen, it wouldn't have the gravitas if I wrote it with a nib that was broader. P.S. Mr. Mayor, you still have 8 videos which need returning. Okay, so that's this pen. Okay. The other thing that was sort of fun about this pen, you could change the nibs, you could fill with a converter or with these things, cartridges, so that was nice. You had that option. You also could, they also came in really interesting colors. And one of the colors, the only color that I thought I would want to keep in my collection was the avocado green color, which was popular at one point. You could get your Amano Radar range in avocado green or Harvest Gold or some other colors, but what was it, ivory, harvest gold. You couldn't just get it in white. That color didn't exist at that time of interior design and industrial design. Ivory or something was as close as it got to white. Avocado green though. Let me just show you an avocado green one. Where is it? Come on, Pierre. What drawer is it in? Next time, plan your hell's bells. It was an avocado green ballpoint version that I think they also sold at this time, and it says Trooper Gustafson on it. So it was given to someone in the police department motorcycle division. Trooper Gustafson, no relation. So anyway, the Parker 45, let's pretend that it's a real pen. It is a real pen. But let's pretend I was a pen customer and I had a Parker 51, I had a 21, I had the Parker 75 to buy, and this is clearly the cheapest one I think that you could buy. It came in with steel nibs, not gold nibs. These are all gold nibs here. So I might buy it because it's slender and it can hold cartridges. I think the 75 could also hold cartridges. Yes, it could. 51 couldn't, the 21 couldn't, so you had to deal with that messy ink bottle. So clearly this had a following, and it's surprisingly lightweight, and I might find a use for it. And because someone requested this video, this review, I dragged some of these out of my sale bin. See this drawer? 21, 45, 51. Hike. So these are for sale, these pens. Or they were. Then I try them out and I want to buy them myself. And anyway, what I saw was this really nice nib, and it's really, really fine, and it's just slightly flexible, which I completely forgot that these pens actually are able to do that. And it looks as if they might be able to do that for, you know, they're not going to wear out or bend too far up to be unusable, like a like a Schaefer inlaid nib always scares me that they're going to screw up like that. But this one I could remove and tweak and put back in, and it would probably work fine. So right now, holding this pen, this would be the pen that would be, if the Hindenburg was still doing its transatlantic route, this is the pen that they would have on board, because it's very, very lightweight. It's probably the lightest weight pen in the pen world. Those of you that care about this and have a balance at home and want to prove me right or wrong, by all means, prove me right or wrong, but they are very, very light. Now this, because it's a flighter, has more weight to it, more heft to it, which is why I don't like the Parker 51 flighter. I love 51s, and I'm so used to the balance that they have with the metal cap and the plastic barrel, but the flighter really throws my expectations off, and my hand thinks, what is this imposter doing there? And it really bothers me. And it's also rather slippery. This surface is more slippery than the plastic, so that's another thing that makes me feel a little uncomfortable about it, because it feels like it could easily just fly off of my hand, out of my hand and onto the floor and be trampled by, you know, the next person in the checkout line or wherever the hell I might be that actually has people in it. I'd have to leave my house for that reason. Is that even possible? Can I leave my house? Okay, let's see. So, they're really interesting. And thank you, whoever it was that asked me to review these things, because they are really, it's a very different experience than I've been dealing with lately. I've been on a what do you call it, a taper-right kick recently, and taper-rights are quite, that's not a taper-right. Taper-rights are somewhat similar in terms of the nib variation that you can get in one. They're not overly flexible, but they're only partially flexible. And this pen seems longer. Okay, where's my, let's just find, I know I put them here somewhere. Here. Look at that, this one had a name engraved on it that had been removed. It could be, I could send it to the forensic file and they could use the same technology they used to figure out whether this gun had a serial number in the bank robbery. It's been filed down, but using a solution of Maxwell House coffee crystals and balsamic vinegar, the acid will reveal the number. So is this pen longer? No. It just seems longer because it's so thin. It's really an interesting feel. So what I want you to do, all of you people, you pen collectors, especially you pen collectors, find one of these. And maybe find the lowliest one of these that you can find. Not the one that's covered in diamonds. I don't need that one. But I want you to try out the 45 and see if you can come up with any epiphanies about how they work and how they feel. Because you, like me, might be surprised. And you might say, you know, why was I ignoring this pen? Every single one of these I got, I sold to a pen store in Boston, and they loved them. And they still do love them. And I'm planning on maybe selling them more of them, but I will keep more than the one I got from my late friend. I wish I had a avocado green one, just because. Maybe I do have an avocado green one. I know I have a, see if I remember where I put it. Parker box. Parker, no. Yes, no. Yeah, no. I'm looking through these drawers. I just put. There it is. I found it. I hope. Okay, something just fell on the floor. No, that's not it. tell. Anyway, here, Parker. Look at this. Oh, and it's a ballpoint pen. This matches Milady's lipstick. Oh, look, it actually writes. I use the word write advisedly. It makes a line. Oh, look, this one has its actual converter. So this one, this bright red one, which is probably quite rare, you see that this is silver, and this is silver, and the nib is also silver, so this was a cheaper version. Accessories under pad, it says Parker. Oh, that's what, oh. It's, oh. The world's most wanted pens, dead or alive. Long-term care of your pen. Every 6 months I have to flush it out. I don't flush my toilet that often. What the heck? Shake out any excess water. I do flush my toilet, by the way. Front end. Could they come up with a better term? Take the front end of your pen. Call it a bow or something. Did I do this correctly? No. God, things are falling out of the case here. I'll show you a real pen. Treasure chest of today. Look at that sweet thing. Oh, it's missing its lever. It's not quite so sweet. I don't think this, you know, there's a little bit of wear on the barrel. I haven't really done a conversation about my ripples. Maybe that'll be later on today. What's this one? Another Waterman box. A Lady Patricia. I don't think this is a Lady Patricia box. They normally said Lady Patricia on them. This is in the onyx color. Look at that nib. I am so lucky. I'm so lucky I'm me. Look at that snappiness. Write your answers below. Do you think the adult bookstore should be located near you for easy access, or should it be next to the schoolyard so that children can learn about sex at some point? Because I don't think Betsy DeVos allows that information to be imparted to the youth of America. Or should it be next to the church or synagogue near you? How many people can I offend? Who haven't I offended yet? Write your answers below, and I'm an equal opportunity offender. I've learned how to do that from our Commander-in-Chief. Why am I putting it in that drawer? It doesn't belong in the lefty drawer. Now, some people out there in the world seem to think that I'm a lefty because I voted for Biden. And yes, Biden is left of Mr. Trump. But he's hardly a communist. Not true.